The European Fashion Accelerator was founded by Karolina Bosáková 9 years ago and has been supporting young creative talents in Central Europe since then. The project aims to connect, educate, create job opportunities, bring new visions and innovations. The project hosted 2 days of B2B events in Prague. This video will be full of advice on how to grow in the fashion business and will address one of the most important topics: how to achieve great international PR exposure. Who were our guests? Experts in international PR, wholesale experts and international media. Is the future luxury sustainable? Now we would like to ask our guests, starting with Martyn Roberts, Director and Founder of Fashion Scout UK, about the relationship between the luxury segment and sustainability, and find out their personal experience about the topic and maybe get some other fashion business insight.
So what luxury means to me is about craftsmanship. It's about well-made products and items that are crafted with fine materials, using techniques that are often hundreds of years old. This is, to me, what luxury is. It's an interesting word because luxury in English means luxury items as we know it, but also if something's a luxury, it's something you don't actually need. And I think this is where luxury brands do something that's really interesting. They convince us that we need things, and actually they're things that we love and we cherish. So luxury is something that you hold on to for a long period of time. It's not about conspicuous consumption. It's not about wearing brands head to toe covered in logos. To me, that's not luxury. That's consumerism. Luxury is actually having something you admire and love and that grows with you.
Luxury definition has changed a lot during the last years. Luxury at the moment is transparency, good fabrics, self-made garments.
Time is luxury, really. And I think also being able to enjoy something without causing harms or at liberty of other people or environment. And I think people are more conscious now after the pandemic about what they're doing because they have more time. You know, I think through the lockdowns around the world, you know, people were sort of shut down at home. So they have more time to consider what they're doing and what their actions are. And I think they are looking for comfort. So I think comfort is also really important, and it's a luxury to people today. And self-awareness and discovery, I think, is really, really important today. Yeah.
They said that luxury doesn't scream, it whispers, and I think that there is something important about that. Luxury is something which you really would like to have and keep it for a long time. It's not only the item, but I think it's the overall experience, how you are treated when you're buying a certain item, if you are getting also advice on that, and actually this is this whole care about you. In the post-pandemic world, I think the luxury will still be there, but I think that people will be more conscious now when they have like a very big break with going out and actually showing, you know, certain items. Now I think that they will treat it even with more appreciations, but I think that luxury will still exist. As I said, it's not only the object, but it's also the whole experience.
Luxury is something unique, iconic, it's high quality, it's timeless, something you can use for years and it never goes out of fashion. Of course, today sustainability should be also a part of luxury, but actually when you are thinking about the connection of lifetime using some products, then actually it's sustainable.
The relationship between luxury and sustainability is a challenging one. Luxury brands are brands, they're companies that, as part of their business, they want to make money. All companies do. And so they want to sell things. And so they need people to buy it. But sustainability in itself and valuing crafts and sustainable fabrics, caring about the environment, is in its own way a luxury. It's something that's essential to us all, but also you need to be in a position where you can afford to be caring about that. There's a large percentage of people in this world who have greater concerns on a day-to-day basis than whether a leather or something was sustainable. You know, they're more caring about their child's education, about money, about their lives. But sustainability is going to be key for luxury brands moving forward. Everybody is paying more attention to it and people want to help make a change. And so it's the brand's responsibilities to make those changes, whether it's banning fur or looking at how to maintain crafts, working with organic materials, causing less loss of biodiversity. You know, how can brands actually change the future? And luxury brands need to take a lead on this.
Luxury, of course, must be sustainable. Like I was saying in my definition, I honestly think that sustainability is the right definition for luxury these days.
I think they are seemingly quite different things, luxury and sustainable, but also really interconnected today, especially I think in PR and communication, for example, on a brand's perspective. I think, in my opinion, it's easier to have luxury and sustainability at the same time, because luxury is time, but also a lot of times it means more funds or more finance to support innovations and collaborations. And I think that's kind of what I believe the future of sustainability and luxury is, because essentially the industry, especially what we're working in fashion, it's very hard to achieve 100% sustainability. So I think in order to achieve some sort of balance, you know, we need to constantly innovate and also collaborate with people around you.
So yeah, I truly hope that luxury brand will actually promote the sustainability, because if not them, then who? They are the ones who, you know, have the experience and traditions, and this is going on through the generation when it comes to big fashion house. And I also believe that nowadays, like, people will really cherish, you know, those luxury items, and they really would like to see, you know, the big work which is put behind, that this is not obviously a mass production, but the physical, you know, work of talented designers and tailors and all the people who are actually working on that.
Luxury can be sustainable, absolutely yes, and it should be. All the business companies, fashion companies, even the other industries should rethink their strategies and act more sustainable.
We approached at Fashion Scout a lot with brands, young designers or emerging designers. So we're approached by emerging designers a lot of the time that say they want to work in the luxury field. One of the things with luxury is it's not just about a product or a price point. It's a whole image. It's the whole, everything around the brand. So my advice to designers that want to work in luxury is that they need to look at how their brand is, their logo, their images on Instagram, how they're shooting, the models they're using, even down to themselves, how they dress and behave and where they go and what they see. If you're looking to attract luxury consumers, you need to understand what they are interested in. So you need to actually understand their lives.
I think it's an amazing time for new designers to start working in their own collections. Like I was saying before, also luxury is sustainability. And I think during the pandemic, we all realized the scope of social media. So I will encourage them to be creative, to show their projects in social media, to get into luxury and sustainability, and it's an amazing time for that.
I think And coming from my perspective, I work in fashion, so I'm gonna talk about that. I think in fashion luxury, it often kind of refer back to consumer market. And so I think it's always very important to know what the consumer is looking for, because it is also essentially a commerce market. And so I think always keeping on top of what's going on in the world, not only in the sort of current event type of way, but also innovations again. So materials, what people are using, looking at your mediums and really understanding what you're using to create your collection, for example. And so I also think uniqueness is really important. So to have your own voice is something that I think stands out among sort of the sea of products and consumer products, you know. Right now, I think transparency and conviction is also very important. There is a lot of products out there. It doesn't mean just in fashion, there's a lot of consumer products, there's a lot of furniture products. So for example, when we looked at a designer earlier yesterday. So I think it's also having some sort of really strong conviction and really sticking to it. And that's kind of the backbone. And then you sort of build, your materials, your transparency, and how you communicate that to, your consumer.
I think that first and foremost they should try to get the experience. They're supposed to find the ways to get the mentors from those probably big fashion house, even start as assistants to generally see what is their model of operation, how they work with the fabrics, what is the DNA of a particular brand, and see how they are actually, treating, the whole production process. So I think that first it's like a really observing and learning, and only then trying, to go to that direction.
I would say let's be creative, enjoy the process, enjoy the fashion, and don't hesitate to Google new possibilities. Think outside the box, meaning the world is open, the world is yours. There are lots of companies, fashion companies, who are open for new young designers. And most important, or one of the most important advices is please think sustainable.